It is a widespread belief amongst people, citizens of many nations, that, and I'm speaking as a Texan, um, let me put it this way. It is a widespread belief that Western culture is disgusting, perverted, hateful, detrimental. Um, Westerners are the decadence of humanity. And, as an American, as a Texan, I'm a Texan first. As a Texan and an American, a sixth generation Texan, I've got ancestors who were at the Alamo. Uh, of course, that's offensive. I don't like hearing that. I'm an American. I went to a school in America, learned. I've been out of the country one time in my life. I've learned everything I've come to know here in the States. I'd like to think I'm pretty smart, as a human being. I'd like to think that I've built up myself a bit of an intellectual foundation, yeah. Um, but having studied and paid attention to what's going on, if you are not from the United States or the West, and you do believe that Western culture is disgusting and perverted and detrimental to the safety of a healthy family dynamic, mother and father and children, well, you're right. It is entirely dangerous and disgusting to raise children in a home where a lot of the modern ideas are practiced and lived. I would not want anybody's children that I know. And I'm a young guy, single guy. I'm not a huge fan of children. I find them loud, rambunctious, obnoxious, sorry, but I do. But they are the future. They are innocent, and they are very, very moldable, impressionable people. And you start pumping this shit into their heads that I'm not going to go into detail, but if you know, you know. Watch the news. Just be in tune with what's going on. You know what I'm talking about. Got followers, not very many, but if you're on my wavelength, you're on my wavelength. I appreciate you. Now let me get on with this. I hope people haven't clicked off by now. Not trying to bore anybody, not trying to upset anybody. Obviously, some people have already thought, all right, this guy's a right-wing Republican hypocrite, asshole bigot whose idea he's don't know his head from his ass, and his ideas ain't worth hearing. He is homophobic, patriarchal, chauvinist. Well, you can say that if you feel so inclined, because that is the go-to response to people like me who just feel that wisdom and common knowledge and ideas that are tried and true take precedent and take priority over progressivism and treading on ground that is not yet deemed passable, if you know what I mean. 50, 60 years ago, people had Kintyl asbestos tile. I saw a commercial. Look at this wise woman laying her kitchen floor. And she was laying tiles, black and white, checkered tile. You know that floor, that pattern, old school diner kitchen tile. Commercial of a lady laying it herself. With Kintyl vinyl asbestos tile. The way to go. Best for your home. You want a fresh coat of paint on your walls to make your room nice and purty, you go down and get you some lead acetate. And people nowadays look back on that and think of them, those people in that time, like they were stupid, uneducated, just let me think. It just not there yet, if you know what I mean. Didn't have technology to really figure out what's best for us, which is why the idea that red meat is unhealthy. That's why that's even a thing now, is because people think technology is useful. You know, we're living in a world where it's already been proven that, I'm not going to go into this very deeply, but it has been proven that women who use iPads and iPhones and stuff on their laps, actually, medical professionals have experimented with that and determined scientifically that it can damage women's eggs. Miscarriage rates are up. Now, of course, there's a lot more women pregnant, a lot more births. But statistically speaking, without any input from what the population is or how it's shifted, the statistics have gone up. Miscarriages are much more common. There is damage happening to our bodies because of the devices that we carry around all the time. You have more computing power on your wrist if you have an Apple Watch, or in your pocket. Come on now, everybody's got one. You have more computing power than the computers that got the Apollo 11 to the moon in 1969. So we're dealing with stuff that is very, very, very powerful. And we have the audacity to think that the previous generation was stupid for having asbestos on their floor. Give me a break. But back to the whole foreign thing about Western ideas. As an American who believes in common sense, and mother is the let me put it, the mother nurtures their children, takes care of the home. They have, women, y'all have better attention to detail than we do. Now, I'll show you around a little bit. My place is pretty clean for just me, so I'm pretty happy with that. But women very much do have better attention to detail than we do, so they are much better at keeping the house. If I got married, I would want a wife who knows how to cook, because if it comes down to it, you've got to know what you're going to have to eat. And it's good to have help with that. It's good to have a professional. And luckily down here, mothers teach daughters. Fathers teach daughters. Fathers teach sons. Mother teach sons. I have to be inclusive. But that's as inclusive as I'm going to get. People who believe in the things that are true here in America, if you don't realize, a lot of us do recognize the things you do about Western culture being toxic today. Oh, it is. It's very toxic. And it is hard to be an American here who believes the things that I do. We are referred to by the media, national media, not like our little local news. This is media. This is the press nationally. We are the flyover states. We are the sheeple in the middle. We're just the people who connect the bigwigs to the bigwigs, coastline to coastline. We don't know our head from our ass. I have heard on political advertisements, or not on political advertisements. I have seen political advertisements recently for people who have very publicly stated that we should shut up and not vote before the 2020 election happened. Not going to get into what I think about that. However, I just want to say this. I agree with y'all. I agree that families are in danger. Fathers need to protect their families. Mothers need to protect their families. We have many brave men and women in uniform who do an excellent job keeping us safe. The last thing I'm going to say about this is women having a problem with submission. Now, I'm just going to say this very quickly. You can Google Cliff Knechtle. It's kind of spelled weird, Knectle, I believe. Cliff Knechtle. He is very, very well articulated. Listen to him speak to young people all around the country, and he has said this very well. Biblically speaking, women are supposed to submit to men, yes, in the family dynamic only, not in a societal way. In the family, women submit to men, but it is the man's job to be worthy of her submission, to be a good and trustworthy leader. Thank you for watching.